Hello, everyone. I'd like to take a few minutes today to talk about the roles of commissioners and state councils in making this compact work. Your work as commissioners and the work of your state councils is central to keeping this compact functional. Without you as commissioners, the compact is just a piece of paper. Let's take a look at how your role as a commissioner enables the compact to function, not only in your state, but between all of the member states. The commission works generally as a hierarchy and is ultimately just a group of commissioners working to make a contract function. Your commitment and guidance as volunteers, or in some cases as appointed officials, leads to the effective and efficient function of the compact in your state and among the member states. As a commissioner, you have a responsibility to the commission. You have to follow the policies, including the code of conduct, the conflict of interest, resolving compliance issues, and state coordination policies. Your state councils as well are the functional arms of the commission in your state. You are responsible for filling the vacancies on the state council as they occur, and you are responsible for acting as the central piece of your state council. You need to know all of the members of your state's council and how to reach them in the event of a dispute. As a commissioner, you are responsible for ensuring that your state has representation on the commission. You will represent your state on this national body, and acting together with the other commissioners, you will make decisions for the commission on issues such as rules and regulations, dues, staffing of the commission, and other issues. It is important that your state council members have the opportunity to provide you with guidance and to consult with you prior to making significant decisions for the commission and prior to commission or committee meetings. If you are ending your tenure as a commissioner on the commission, you need to inform the headquarters of your departure. Ensure that your temporary or permanent successor is timely appointed and well prepared to take on your duties. It's important that you work within your state to ensure the timely payment of annual dues as well, and the submission of annual reports at the end of each fiscal year. Generally speaking, as a commissioner, your responsibilities will include leading the compact enforcement in your state in a mission-centered way, ensuring that your state is in compliance with the compact, including the commission's rules and policies. You will be responsible for coordinating the actions and meetings of your state council, including the annual state council meetings, which you need to report to the commission, and maintaining the membership of your council as the positions of its members may fluctuate. You will be responsible for leading the dispute resolution process within your case, which will be important, in which your state council members will serve an important role. You will need to coordinate dispute resolution with your state council members and among the various agencies in your state. Finally, you are also responsible for community outreach for the compact in your state. You can provide training to school officials, school liaisons, you can engage in the Month of the Military Child program, and reach out to important stakeholders in the education process within your state to ensure that they are aware not only of the compact, but of its requirements for your school, for your state. When we talk about mission-centered leadership, what we mean is devoting yourself and keeping in mind primarily the purpose of the compact, which is to serve the best interests of military children in your state. This is the first article of the compact because it is the most important part of the compact, and it guides the interpretation of every other piece of the compact statute. Our mission through the Interstate Compact is to address educational transition issues that military children encounter as they transfer between states. Ultimately, this is really about the children. And as many people have said before, this is a difficult time for children who face unique challenges in making these transitions. In that vein, MIC3 is a unique organization with a unique opportunity to help. As an Interstate Compact Commission, MIC3's authority reaches far beyond what other organizations can do, whether they are government or otherwise. The Commission's ability to enforce the reciprocal agreement across state lines provides solutions that are simply not available in other organizations. Ultimately, when military children face these challenges in transitioning between state schools, only MIC3 can accomplish what needs to be done to help them, and only you as commissioners can make that happen. As commissioners, you are here to work with your state and national organizations to assist military families and schools. Again, education and coordination regarding dispute resolution efforts under the compact in your state is central to your role as a commissioner. You will serve as the appointed representative of your state to the commission. You will be responsible for establishing a state council, complying with the commission's rules, bylaws, and other statutes in your state, and assisting school liaisons and other officials in your state and military families with compact-related education issues. You are also responsible for compact compliance within your state. You will be personally responsible for making sure that your state is in compliance with all the compact requirements and the commission policies. By enacting a compact statute, your state has promised to comply with the compact, but it is on you as the state's commissioner to make good on that promise. Generally, the compact requires from your state compliance with its requirements, which includes meetings, reports, dispute resolution coordination, and cooperation with other state education agencies. It requires you to establish and staff your state council. And it requires you to ensure that proper communication between state agencies for dispute resolution is achieved. If you can accomplish your objectives as a commissioner efficiently and effectively, there will never be any need for the national office to become involved in a dispute resolution process. It will be very helpful to you to understand the Commission's rules promulgation process and to engage with the Commission through committee meetings and participation at the annual business meetings of the Commission. Generally speaking, the Commission's policies will require that you file annual meetings and reports with the Commission by the end of the fiscal year on June 30th, and that you submit and comply with the Code of Conduct and Conflict of Interest forms that have been issued by the Commission. As a commissioner, you cannot properly advocate for the military children in your state if you find that you have a personal interest in the outcome of a dispute. It is important that you report these conflicts and recuse yourself from cases when necessary. Whenever these conflicts occur, the national office and other organizations of the Commission will stand ready to assist you in resolving any dispute that you are unable to resolve yourself. It is important to note that a failure to follow these policies could be grounds for the Commission to file a complaint with your appointing authority or even to request your removal as a commissioner to the Commission. Any conflict that you may have or failure to abide by the Code of Conduct established by the Commission will seriously harm the ability of the compact to function in your state. You will also be responsible for appointments and filling vacancies on your state council. You need to ensure that the posts on the state council are filled promptly when these vacancies occur. You should notify headquarters when you are resigning or if another compact commissioner will be taking your place. You should make your best efforts to ensure that this transition is a smooth one. As an outgoing commissioner, you can do a lot to assist with the transition. You can provide your replacement with the information they need to know. Make sure that they have been introduced to the various state council members. Make sure they know which department is responsible for paying the annual dues, how to submit them. Make sure they know how to submit annual reports and comply with the other policies of the Commission. You can serve as a point of contact for them even after your time as a commissioner is done. And you can provide many resources to them as well, including points of contact and references that will enable them to ensure that the compact continues to function even after your time as a commissioner is finished. As a commissioner, you are responsible for coordinating the efforts of your state council in resolving compact disputes that arise in your state. It is important to note that each state under the compact is required to establish and maintain a state council with certain membership. That membership under the compact is required to include the superintendent of education in your state, the superintendent of a school district with a high concentration of military students, representatives from military installations in your state, and legislative and executive representatives from your state government. Many state councils include members beyond these or include several seats for each category of member as required under the compact, but the makeup of the state council in your state will ultimately be up to your discretion as a commissioner, so long as it meets those minimum requirements. It is important that you ensure that these roles are filled, both to ensure that your state is in compliance with the compact and to ensure that compact disputes can be efficiently and effectively resolved in your state. You will serve as the central hub of your state council, and your state council will serve as the arm of the commission in your state. You will need to communicate regularly with all your state council members about active disputes and issues that have arisen with compact compliance in your state. You will need to regularly coordinate between various agencies and organizations in your state to resolve these disputes as they arise. You will be responsible for educating all important stakeholders about the compact application for military children and the unique rights which they are afforded under the compact. It will be important for you to understand the Commission's rules promulgation process, as well as its existing rules, bylaws, and policies. Communicating with your state council members can prevent cases from escalating or arising in the first place. The better able that you are to coordinate dispute resolution among the members of your state council, the less often the national office will need to get involved, or even legal counsel will need to get involved in ensuring that these disputes are resolved appropriately. Ultimately, this goal is best accomplished with communication and education. The more people who know about the compact, the better able they will be to comply with it. You will also be able to integrate support from the commission to ensure that these disputes are resolved efficiently. You will be in a unique, as a commissioner, you will be in a unique position to coordinate support within your state and know how the dispute resolution process should function. You can make sure that issues get to the people who need to see them. You will be able to submit and communicate disputes from school officials to Department of Education officials to even your state's Attorney General's office if that is necessary. Meetings of your state council can solve many problems, as those meetings will facilitate this kind of communication. It will be important for you to know the Department of Education process for student educational issues so that you can properly assist families in your state who are encountering issues either with that process or encountering conflicts between that process and the results guaranteed to their children under the compact. As a commissioner, you will be responsible for administering the case or dispute resolution process within your state. Ultimately, you are personally responsible for making sure that every case or dispute that arises under the compact in your state is resolved appropriately as the compact requires. Whether that means bringing the issue to the attention of your state council for resolution or getting the national office involved, you will be responsible for ensuring that these disputes are resolved appropriately. To do so, you will need to know what resources are available to you and how to use those resources. The most useful tools will be your points of contact with state agencies and local school boards. It will be important that you know who you need to call before you need to call them. For example, does your state's Department of Education have a case resolution process in place already? In many states, the Department of Education or local education authorities have established processes by which students can either challenge or appeal the decisions of their local school districts with regard to things like transcripts or issues related to graduation or issues related to course scheduling and so on. Many cases can be resolved simply by educating the right people about the compact and its requirements in your state. Remember, the compact supersedes any other state laws or policies that might conflict with it, including other education regulations in your state. Military children under the compact are entitled to unique treatment, and you as a commissioner are responsible for ensuring that the children in your state are treated correctly. Compliance with the compact is not optional or a matter of convenience. It is the law in every state, and it has to be followed. That being said, the law of the compact is only as good as the people who can enforce it. How well you do your job as a commissioner will determine exactly how well things go for the military children in your state. It will be important in filling this role to familiarize yourself with the legal advisories issued by General Counsel, as requested by the Commission, on topics including grade point averages, charter schools, special education plans, honoring credits on students' transcripts, and other important topics. These legal advisories can be found on the Commission's website, where you can also find the Commission's policies, bylaws, and rules. Ultimately, it will be important for you as well to know the proper chain of escalation in your state. When a military child encounters a problem where they are not being afforded the rights guaranteed to them by the compact, who should their point of contact be, and how should the dispute be escalated if it cannot be resolved with that point of contact? For example, in many states, dispute resolution will begin with conversations between a student's parents and their teacher, a student's parents and then their DSLO, the principal of the school, the superintendent of that school district, and ultimately even the state's Department of Education. As a commissioner, you will play a central role in coordinating and facilitating these communications and ensuring that the appropriate people take the appropriate action in an efficient and effective manner. In many of these cases, the resolution of this dispute can be time sensitive, as a student's future education plan, a student's course selection, and even graduation can depend on whether or not they are being treated properly under the compact. It will be important for you to work with your state council to establish a procedure for dispute resolution in your state. By the time a dispute arises in your state council members should be well familiar with not only the requirements of the compact, but what steps they may need to take to enforce those requirements in your state. And if in the course of resolving a dispute, you encounter issues that you are not able to resolve, you can always call the national office and rely on other commission resources to assist you in this dispute resolution process. Your fellow commissioners will likely be an invaluable resource, and the national office always stands ready to assist you. Your final category of responsibility as a commissioner will be community outreach in your state. You are in a unique position to ensure that all stakeholders are educated on the compact. Students and parents can't take advantage of the compact or its benefits if they don't know what it is. Educators and administrators likewise can't comply with the compact if they don't know what it means. As a commissioner, you can coordinate with headquarters to provide Compact 101 trainings in your state, which can be useful to educators and military families alike regarding the nature of the compact and what it means for military students. You can use the Commission's resources, the parent guides or brochure, to educate stakeholders. The Communication and Outreach Committee has provided a wealth of resources for your use in educating stakeholders in your state as to the requirements and benefits of the compact. Ultimately, better communication between these stakeholders means better compact compliance, and better compliance means better outcomes for military children. As commissioners, you should know what resources you can provide to impacted families who are seeking assistance. What is the proper chain of escalation? Who should these families contact first when they encounter a problem? Who will be their primary point of contact while a dispute is ongoing? When should the state council get involved? When should the issue be referred to the national office? These questions will be important for you to answer and for you to establish and for you to discuss with your state council. If you can work with the established resources first, get to know these state organizations that are available to you. Your school liaison officers will be an invaluable resource to you as well. The other student and education related agencies in your state can also serve an important role in coordinating the resolution of disputes that might arise under the compact. If you are a new commissioner, you can reach out to your predecessor and see what guidance they have to offer. It will be important for you as well to know how the legislative process works in your state, as you will be responsible for monitoring proposed legislative changes to the compact statute in your state and to any other related statutes. You should reach out to and meet local military leaders and educational representatives in your state. These contacts will be your most important resource in ensuring compact compliance. Again, when in doubt, you should feel free to reach out to the Commission's committees and to the National Office for support. As I've mentioned, the Communication and Outreach Committee has provided many resources for educating stakeholders about the impact, importance, and benefits of the compact. Ultimately, your responsibilities as a commissioner fall into these 5 categories: mission-centered leadership, state council coordination, managing the case resolution process in your state, ensuring state compact compliance, and accomplishing community outreach in your state to the important stakeholders. You should know that the training committee is available to assist new commissioners and provide resources for you to get started. New commissioners are encouraged to start with the materials provided by the training committee. And do not forget some of the most important responsibilities that you will have as a commissioner are to know and comply with the Commission's Code of Conduct, the Conflict of Interest Policy, and the annual reporting deadlines and the dues deadlines for your state. Accomplishing your responsibilities in each of these categories will go a long way to ensuring the efficient and effective compliance of your state with the compact, and will go a long way to ensure that the military children in your state are afforded the rights and benefits guaranteed to them by the compact. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the national office, and or if you have issues or problems that you require additional support or assistance with, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much for your time.